I'm Lori Cardoza-Moore, and welcome to Focus on Israel. Hello, and thank you for joining me today on Focus on Israel. My name is Lori Cardoza-Moore, a wife and proud mother of 5 wonderful children. Like most Americans, I began to ask a lot of questions about what happened to our country following 9/11. As I read and talked to experts, the issues of radical Islam and the attacks on America and Israel became extremely personal to me. In response, I founded Proclaiming Justice to the Nations, a nonprofit organization dedicated to educating and sharing the message of Christian biblical responsibility to the people and land of Israel against the rise of a new anti-Semitism. In this series, Focus on Israel, I want to share with you what I've learned through my research and meetings with experts in their respective fields. The mission of this series and PJTN is to educate and equip you so that you can share this information with your family and friends. We'll present information you'll not see in the mainstream media. With your financial support, we can reach Christians around the world with our message to stand against the growing threat of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel propaganda. After studying the scriptures, I realized that God had not forsaken his covenant with his people, Israel. Unfortunately, there is a growing trend in Christianity to spread an age-old false doctrine and tradition called replacement theology. This heretical doctrine suggests that because the Jews denied Christ, the covenant promises given to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and their descendants now belong to the church. That is why during the Holocaust, many Christians turned a blind eye to the Nazi death camps. Many felt justified in their passive and active involvement because they believed the Jews were the Christ killers. For this reason, we must learn and share the truth. It is so very important that at this critical time in history, we must turn our focus on Israel. In Galatians 3:29, the Apostle Paul said, "If you are in Christ, you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise." What most Christians have never been taught is that when God made that promise to Abraham, he made that promise to Abraham and his descendants forever. He also promised that he would make Abraham's descendants like the stars of the heavens and the sands of the seashore. And he said, "Abraham, all that land I'm showing you, I'm giving it to you and your descendants forever." Of all the people in the world who should understand who the Jewish people are and who Israel is, it should be the Christians. So I established PJTN in 2005 as the Christian voice for Israel in the media. Most importantly, we want to educate Christians about their biblical responsibility to Israel and their Jewish brethren so that they will take a stand. Christians of all the people groups around the world should be standing up, and there should be an outcry from the nations of the world against the atrocities that are being perpetrated against Israel on a daily basis. We witness year after year, war after war. And where is the leadership of the church? Where is the outcry from the Christians? Christians have a moral and a biblical responsibility to defend our Jewish brethren. If we as Christians believe that Jesus is the Messiah, then we are part of that covenant. We are part of that promise, and we have a biblical responsibility to stand with our Jewish brethren and defend the land that God calls his. God told the prophet Joel in chapter 3 that in the latter days he was going to pour out his wrath on the nations because they were dividing up his land. 300 million Americans, 80% profess to be Christians, but year after year, administration after administration, we allow our government to implement policies that are diametrically opposed to the Word of God. And the reason why we do it? It's because we don't know the truth. We cannot let our Jewish brethren fight this battle alone. They have fought this battle alone for years, with no one standing with them. Now it's time for the Christians to rise up. Now it's time for us to take a stand. Now it's time for us to say, never again. After studying the scriptures, I realized that God had not forsaken his covenant with his people, Israel. I hear from many Israelis and my Jewish brethren with tears in their eyes say how they can't believe that a Christian would want to help them defend their land and protect their people. In 1942, many Christians were silent while millions of Jews were killed in the Holocaust. We cannot be silent again. This is an opportunity where Christians and Jews can unite together on something we can both agree upon, and that is to defend the state of Israel, her right to exist, her right to maintain her existing borders, and her right to defend her people. We have a biblical and moral obligation, and we cannot be silent again. God gave us his word and the wisdom to guide our actions. It is written in Genesis 12, verses 1 through 3, I will bless those who bless Israel and curse those who curse Israel. How do you feel when you share in this blessing with your family and congregation? World War II and the Holocaust, the genocide that exterminated 78% of the Jewish men, women, and children in Europe. Today, there are less than 15 million Jewish people on the earth. This time, it is on our watch. Anti-Semitism, the hatred of the Jewish people, and anti-Israel activities are at the highest rate globally since the days of the Nazis. In Romans 11:18, it is written, you do not support the root, but the root supports you. Has your church, family, or community forgotten Jesus' family and our Jewish brethren? What more can you do to support our brethren? Romans 11:28 through 29 says they are loved on account of the patriarchs, for God's gifts and his call are irrevocable. The steadfast commitment to Israel and the Jewish people is at the very heart of proclaiming justice to the nations. And on our show today, we want to introduce you to our passion and our mission. This is PJTN.
PJTN's mission is to educate Christians about their biblical responsibility to stand with their Jewish brethren and to defend the state of Israel. To accomplish our mission, we produce powerful film and media communications and develop grassroots and partner programs that advocate our biblical responsibility to defend Israel and her people, thus proclaiming justice to the nations. Over the last several years, Laurie Cardoza Moore and PJTN have tirelessly worked to raise public awareness and support for Israel and the Jewish community through political outreach and educational events. These have included passage of House Bill HJR 960, a resolution of support for the State of Israel, the rally to support Israel at the capital of Tennessee, the Pray for the Peace of Jerusalem rally, a public forum at Belmont Church with guest speaker Rabbi Dr. Gerald Meister, advisor to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Jewish-Christian relations, public educational event and fundraiser with talk show host Dennis Prager, a discussion forum on the film Munich with film critic Michael Medved, a 9/11 memorial event with Walid Shobat and Brigitte Gabriel, clergy meetings between rabbis and pastors in Nashville, culminating in a mission trip to Israel. On an international level, the main mission of PJTN is to produce high-quality documentaries to educate and raise public awareness in a fair and balanced approach. Several documentaries are presently in various stages of completion under Emmy Award-winning director Stan Moore. In 2006, the mini-documentary about 9/11, Lest We Forget, was a featured short film winner at the Liberty Film Festival in LA. This documentary bridges the growing threat of Islamofascism with Nazism in Europe in the 1930s. It is a warning to this generation to never forget the implications of that infamous day in September. In 2007, PJTN held the first annual prayer breakfast for Israel at the NRB convention in Orlando, Florida. In 2008, the breakfast became a dinner and featured guest speakers G. Gordon Liddy and Kay Arthur. 2008 also saw another major PJTN milestone, as the music video, The Forgotten People, was honored and screened at the 11th Annual Hollywood Film Festival. The song conveys a message from the 6 million men, women, and children crying out from their graves to this generation, warning it of the impending Holocaust that is coming if they are forgotten. The video made its global release on Yom HaShoah in Germany at the Walk of Remembrance. In 2009 started with a bang for PJTN, as it organized an important rally at the Tennessee State Capitol during Operation Cast Lead in Israel. The rally was to counter not only the many anti-Semitic protests around the world, but to also come against protest by anti-Israel Palestinian groups from Nashville and Murfreesboro. This rally, as well as one held earlier in December, were both covered by local media outlets. Such endeavors by PJTN have helped build greater understanding and a vital link between the Christian and Jewish communities in Nashville and other parts of the U.S.
I hear from many of my Jewish friends who thank me for all the work that we are doing. I had one participant who called me after the rally and thanked us for taking that stand, that it gave the Jewish community the freedom to come out publicly and the courage to come out publicly in our community and take a stand in Israel's defense.
The 4th Annual Israel Prayer Dinner at the 2009 NRB Convention was a critical turning point for the organization. The award-winning music video, The Forgotten People, was screened and had an impact that led to the creation of PJTN's first feature-length documentary. Michael Little, President and CEO of the Christian Broadcasting Network, was also honored as the recipient of the Tree of Life Award. Over the last 8 years, Laurie's appearances as a featured guest on radio and TV broadcasts have increased steadily. On the Michael Del Giorno, Steve Gill, and G. Gordon Liddy shows, she's a rare item. A vocal Christian woman dedicated to informing others in the media as to the importance of educating more Christians about their responsibility to Israel and the Jewish people. The PJTN website is overwhelmed after every media appearance Laurie makes. By April of 2009, PJTN realized its greatest achievement when the documentary short Lest We Forget was broadcast to over 160 million people throughout the former Soviet Union. Without our donors and friends, this miracle could have never happened.
PJTN is the Christian voice in the media for Israel. We want to use what we have been given, the information that we have, to educate Christians so that Christians will take a stand. Christians of all the different people groups around the world should be standing up, and there should be an outcry from the nations of the world against the atrocities that are being perpetrated against Israel on a daily basis. We witness year after year, war after war, and where is the leadership of the church? Where are the Christians and the outcry?
In the summer of 2009, PJTN's first feature-length documentary was completed. The Forgotten People, Christianity and the Holocaust premiered at Cornerstone Church in Nashville to over 400 people. The response was overwhelming and had a deep impact on the audience. In addition to the screening, a panel discussion was held that included the local Orthodox rabbi. This added an important and valuable element to the evening. Donations from the screening allowed the creation and broadcast of the Forgotten People PJTN infomercial to over 2 million homes in Middle Tennessee. The infomercial not only helped provide funding for PJTN infrastructure, but was also a vital tool for educating Christians in the viewing area. Laurie also made several other important outreach talks during the year, including a rousing talk at the Night to Honor Israel in Columbus, a Christians United for Israel event. Other speaking engagements included Christian and Jewish congregations in Chicago, St. Louis, and Nashville, as well as several business and civic groups. PJTN became the first Christian organization to be invited to present at the Jewish Leadership Forum, a gathering of major Jewish philanthropists in Aspen, Colorado. In July, Laurie spoke at a Tea Party Nation rally. Her message of support for Israel and the Jewish people was cheered and greatly received. In December, Laurie spoke at a Reformed Jewish congregation whose rabbi is committed to helping reach more Christians in the Birmingham community. And most recently, Laurie has been appointed to the office of Special Envoy to Middle Eastern Affairs for the World Council of Independent Christian Churches and will serve as the special non-governmental representative to the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. Ms. Cardoza-Moore's area of expertise will be Middle East affairs and human rights. The World Council of Independent Christian Churches, with 44 million members, was approved in 1996 as an accredited non-government organization with consultative status in the special category to the UN. It is our urgent desire at PJTN to educate and influence the world community with fair, just, and factual information. With the growth of the internet and satellite technologies, we have truly become a global community. And today, Israel's greatest obstacle is to overcome the bias against her in this world-encompassing media. In this PR war, it is time that we reach across religious and political differences and unite together to come to her defense. Thus, PJTN documentaries and programs will serve as a vital weapon in combating the negative propaganda against Israel.
For Zion's I'll not hold my peace, for Zion's sake.
Every generation is tested. This is the test of this generation. We are at a critical moment in history. We must take a stand, and the truth must be heard. For Zion's sake, we must proclaim justice to the nations.
One of the most important events that PJTN is a part of each year is the National Religious Broadcasters Convention in Nashville, Tennessee. Each year, PJTN hosts broadcast professionals from all around the world at our annual International Christian Prayer and Action event for Israel. This year's program featured a short film that gave everyone a perspective of the ministry in a fast-paced and informative way. We also hosted and heard from Joseph Farah of WorldNet Daily and Itamar Marcus, president of Palestinian Media Watch. Both men gave great insight on the ever-growing danger that Israel faces in the Middle East as a result of the turbulent Arab Spring, as well as the rising threat from Muslim extremists. Our upcoming event in 2013 will feature the release of our next documentary, Israel Indivisible, the world's plan to divide God's land. It will take a deep and provocative look at how Israel has rights to all the land based on biblical, historical, archaeological, and political fundamentals. This exciting event is coming up in March of 2013. And as it grows closer, we'll be giving you more information and previews of what's to come. As I stated earlier, our mission is to educate, and over the coming weeks, we'll present information you'll not see in the mainstream media. Our first set of programs will be talking about the longest hatred, anti-Semitism. The past and present growth of this scourge will be examined on many levels. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll present several major parts to this issue as we highlight parts of our award-winning documentary, The Forgotten People, Christianity and the Holocaust. This film features interviews from numerous experts in the fields of terrorism, history, politics, and religion. Interviews include James Woolsey, former director of CIA, Joseph Farah, journalist and CEO of WND, Walid Shoebat, former Palestinian terrorist, as well as Rabbi Dr. Gerald Meister, Rabbi Shlomo Riskin, Dr. John Garr, and Dr. Brad Young. We begin this series next week as Focus on Israel examines the history of anti-Semitism and looks at how the ugly root of this hatred peaked with the extermination of 6 million Jews by Nazi Germany. In week 3, we'll explore the beginning and growth of the new anti-Semitism, a hatred that is not only anti-Jewish, but anti-Israel and anti-Zionist as well. For week 4, our look at Christian anti-Semitism in churches today will shock and sadden you. It's unbelievable how many mainline churches are coming out against Israel and how prevalent replacement theology is today. In our next series of programs, we'll open our teachings on the evidence for the Jewish state. On program weeks 5 through 8, we'll look at the biblical, the archaeological, the historical, and finally the political evidence for Israel to exist and hold all the land God calls His. More often than not, we see that the evidence found in the biblical, archaeological, historical aspects of Israel cross over and reinforce each other. As discoveries are made by archaeologists, both biblical and historical texts are proven, and a new light is shed on the ancient information. More and more discoveries are made each year that prove the Bible to be not only a holy text, but a true historical book of amazing and miraculous events. We'll have important interviews with religious and political leaders, including Rabbi Avraham Greenbaum, founder and president of Azamra in Jerusalem, Rabbi Yeshayahu Hollander, the deputy vice chair of the Nasant Sanhedrin, Lenny Ben David, Israeli political analyst. Also interviews with archaeologists in Israel, such as Doron Spielman, the senior director at City of David in Jerusalem, and Dr. Haggai Amitzur from Hebrew University. In week 9, we'll look at the world against Israel as we interview Dr. Ari Eldad, a Knesset member. The program for week 10 looks at the long and storied relationship of America and Israel. We gained so much information in Israel as we interviewed Yoram Ettinger, a retired ambassador and founder of Second Thought, an American-Israeli initiative. In week 11, we look at the Genesis curse. In Genesis 12, it states, "I will bless those that bless you and curse those that curse you." How does God's curse work for those who aid and support her, and for those who come against her? Then in week 12, our focus shifts to the media bias against Israel and how the Israeli government must not only fight a ground war, but an informational war as well. Each week, we look to aid Israel in that important media war. Up next, we have a fast-paced montage of what you'll be seeing in the weeks and months ahead as we focus on Israel.
The border will be different than the one that existed on June 4th, 1967. Israel will not return to the indefensible boundaries of 1967.
The church's heritage is distinctively Jewish.
PJTN to me is an organization that is a tip of the spear type of organization. She's willing to do hard things, take hard positions on matters that some people want to back away from.
This is a personal issue for me. It should be a personal issue for every American, because in the ongoing struggle between right and wrong, between decency and profound terrorist evil, Israel cannot, must not stand alone. PJTN helps to make sure that there will be the support, particularly from people of faith.
It is incredible, and really incredible, that a Christian really cares about the Jews.
At this critical juncture of history, when the threats to Israel and the Jewish people and Judeo-Christian civilization is so real and so urgent, we have no time to waste. We have to get this message, this urgent message, out.
Today, I think there's something about Israel that brings Christians and Jews together in a common cause and a common relationship, that they're strengthening one another and helping one another.
If our friend you think loves us too much, accept it as a blessing and as a gift. There are so many in the world that hate us too much.
This is where the battle is now. That's why this has to be supported, though. This is the counterculture in media. We have to get into the media in every way we can. Lori, God bless you. God bless all the work you do.
That's our show for today, and I want you to know we appreciate hearing from you. Please send your comments and questions to comments@pjtn.org. The time to stand up is now, so get involved and support pro-Israel organizations such as PJTN. Call your senators, congressmen, the White House. Let your elected leaders hear from you. Visit our website to learn more. Sign up to receive free newsletters, action alerts, daily blogs, and order our films to share with others. God bless you and thank you for all you do on behalf of your Jewish brethren and all Israel. We'll see you next time on Focus on Israel.
You've been watching Focus on Israel. To support this program, send your tax-deductible gift to Proclaiming Justice to the Nations, P.O. Box 682711, Franklin, Tennessee 37068. You can also support PJTN online. Visit pjtn.org or call 1-877-873-9020.
Anti-Semitism has reached epic proportions, and Israel is now surrounded by nations who seek its destruction. For Israel to lose just one battle would mean losing everything. As Christians, it is our biblical responsibility to stand with our Jewish brethren and Israel. PJTN needs your help to reach more Christians with this urgent message. Please visit our website to become a member today and order our award-winning documentaries. You must decide that you won't be silent. Sign up now at pjtn.org. God bless you and thank you for your support and prayers.